Okay, you guys, thanks for hopping on. I'm really excited about this one. I was talking with Lauren and Katie and Celine, like huge promotions.
Yeah.
I want to give everyone, I don't want to leave anyone out. I know that just promoted to executive. I know that many people were increasing in volume, increasing in loyal customer count that they were signing. Like many of you wowed me. Like it was just so impressive. And I really felt like what you go through and what you're experiencing can benefit the rest of the team. And so I know that sometimes it's a little bit scary, but you guys, I'm not wearing makeup. I did wash my hair, so that's a positive. But don't be scared. I just want to, I'm going to ask each of you separately. And so we'll just take a little bit of time. Let's see. Who wants to go first out of the three? Raise your hand. No one. Okay, Katie, we will have you go first. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to have Katie. You're unmuted. Perfect. Awesome. So Katie, first of all, how long have you been with It Works?
So I joined back in July with Shelby when we had the first $20 promotion.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I love that because sometimes people are just jumping on just for free product, and you jumped on and saw the opportunity. Okay, so you jumped on with Shelby back in July. So is that what, 4 months?
It's just about it's like 5 months I've been with the company total. But I was a loyalty customer with Shelby for about 3 months before that, because I've tried It Works for years. When we lived in South Carolina, I actually was an avid wrap buyer. And I had a distributor out there that I always went to. But I never really thought of doing it as a business because I was with Herbalife at the time, and a lot of really bad things happened when I was with Herbalife. I got screwed over really bad. They ended up going through a lawsuit, and because they weren't paying their distributors properly. And it was just a huge mess. I never made any money working with them. And it just was a really bad experience. So when I first met Shelby, I didn't really believe everything. I was super, super skeptical. But I knew the products worked and I liked the products. So being in the Army, I really benefited from a lot of the products, the wraps especially. So I said, you know what, I don't think I want to be a distributor, but I definitely love the products, so I'm going to join as a customer. I'm totally for that. And I kept seeing her posts on Instagram and reading her stories, and I was like, here it is 3 months down the road. I have to ask her some questions. I have to ask her, is this real? Like, are you really making what you're saying that you're making? And how easy is it? Like, is it possible to do? And it didn't work. It wasn't for me. I was spending so much money on stuff and never seeing an income out of it with Herbalife. And so I was like, I just have to ask you 100 questions. And she'll be able to tell you, I probably asked her, I don't know, everything from under the sun about It Works, about how to make money, what she does, everything, because I was super skeptical in the beginning. And back then, would I imagine being where I'm at right now? Absolutely not. But it just shows you that with leadership and the right people, the right team, you can literally do anything.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Okay, so how did you join as a customer? Did she reach out to you or did you find her?
So I don't even remember how I added her on Instagram. I think she may have added me. I'm not 100% sure about that, which is weird because normally I remember things like that, but I really couldn't tell you who added who. But I just remember seeing her posts, her Instagram stories were like the hot thing. And I could, every time I would see her name on Instagram, I had to watch her story. And it was like something that I always did every single time I saw her name up there because I wanted to see what she was doing. And I was curious. You know, curiosity always gets everybody because, you know, it's just like what you've always told us, Colette, you know, people will say no to you, but then they're going to be the ones that watch you the most. And I don't think I really said no to Shelby, but I watched her and I said yes to the products, but I said no to making the income at first. So I think I just jumped out and asked her about how much it was for one of the products. I think it was the keto coffee. I asked her about the keto coffee because I had never seen it before. And I think that's what started our entire conversation. And it was pretty easy for me to join as a loyalty customer.
So from there, you were a customer for 3 months. And then did she ask you then, okay, it's $20, join my team? Or were you seeing her post about the $20 and you messaged her?
So I had seen her post. It was actually one of her Instagram stories. And I don't even think it was about joining for $20. I believe it was one of her stories about, actually I remember exactly what story it was. She had just posted that she paid cash for a boat for her husband. And that hit me because my husband's an avid fisherman. We like to go out, you know, boating and doing all kinds of stuff like that. So that really just like grabbed my attention. And I was like, no way. There's no way that she paid cash for a boat. Like, that is just not possible. You know, I have to ask the question. And her and I were on a really good relationship anyways, when it came to products, and we talked pretty regularly. So I just reached out to her and I said, okay, you have to give me the scoop on what it is that you're doing, how it is that you're doing that business, and are you really doing what you're saying, or are you just blowing smoke? And she was like, no, I am telling you 100%, like, this happened. And she just sent me pictures and showed me all the things that, you know, she was able to do, explained her backstory. And we just literally had a conversation kind of like we're having right now. She just, you know, just two people having a conversation, getting to know each other a little bit more. And I never once felt like she was pushing the business on me.
Yeah.
She was just explaining her side, her situation, and how she got to where she was. There was never the point where she was like, you have to join this company. You know, if you're not joining this company, you're doing the wrong thing. It was never anything like that. It was very much just a personal conversation that you would have with, you know, your best friend, which was really cool. So super, super easy conversation. And because she was so fluid and able to tell me how it was that she went about making the income that she does, made sense to me. And I was like, now I understand why I wasn't successful before, and how I could be successful in the future.
Awesome. Okay. So tell me, what is your goal for December?
My ultimate goal for December is to be Emerald. That is what I am shooting for. I know Lauren is shooting for that too. We've been going back and forth on posts about that, which is super exciting. I hope that her and I can both do that, because that would just be icing on the cake for, I think, both of us. So
that would be amazing.
That is my goal, 100%.
Okay. So then with that, this is where I want you to share what your typical day was, of how you worked, what you did to get to Ruby, and does it look, I mean, you don't really have to say if it looks the same, but I was like, is it changing a little bit for December? Because I think it was Lauren was like, Now I know what it takes. So share with me kind of that turning point of how you were working, what it took to get to Ruby, and what you're going to do to get to Emerald.
So it took a lot for me to hit Ruby. Well, yes and no. It took a lot for me to get Ruby. There were days where I thought it was going to take me a lot, but did it? Not really. It was super obtainable, but would it have been easier if I started off a little bit better? Yes. So when I first started in July, so July, August, September, and October. So yeah, so July, August, and September, I was still unsure about the business. So I was working it, but can I honestly say that I was doing absolutely everything that I should have been doing every day? Absolutely not. I can tell you that I wasn't, because I don't think I believed in myself to do everything, and I don't think I believed that I could successfully lead my team. So that was huge. And once the October hit, I don't know what happened, but something clicked with me. And it was just like, you know what? If I'm going to do this and I'm going to take my time out of, my day to do this, I want to do it and be as successful as I possibly can. So what do I need to do that? And so I just started going back to being myself, not being, the robot of copy and paste, because I found it easier to make the sale and get people on my team when I was just myself. Jessica can vouch for me on this. Her and I have been talking since July, and when I finally got her over to my team in October, because she never had leadership like we have here. She was a distributor for another It Works line, but she never had leadership. So I think it was kind of like at that point when I was realizing for myself what I needed to do, was when my whole business changed. And when November came around, Shelby actually brought it to my attention. She was like, hey, have you charted? And I said, you know what? I have not charted. That is the one thing that I haven't done. And she said, okay, I have charted for you. I said, oh my gosh, this is amazing, because I really wasn't sure where to start when it came to my chart. So she's like, okay, I'm going to send it to you. And she's like, look at this. You are so close to hitting Ruby. We need you to hit Ruby this month. I said, okay, what do I need to do? And so Shelby and I made a game plan. I worked with my leadership to make a game plan about how I need to go about my days to be successful. And November for me was a little bit different than my daily schedule, because I was on leave for about 20 days. So I didn't have to go to work for 20 days, which was amazing. So in the car ride from Massachusetts to Washington, which is about 3,500 miles, all I did was work my business. That is all I did. There was points where my husband was like, oh, are you going to drive? And I was like, sorry, babe, I have to sign up a customer. It was kind of one of those things where I literally put my mind to it. I said, I'm going to do this. This is what I want. I want that bonus. And I'm not going to be satisfied if I don't accomplish it. So my daily tasks were checking in with my leadership. So Shelby, I bugged her and bugged her and bugged her throughout November, because there were days where I was like, Shelby, I don't think I can do this. I don't know if I'm going to make it. And she's like, show me your chart. Have you updated your chart? What do you need to do to reach that? Where are you at? And she would take me from my freak out high back down to my normal and say, okay, look at your chart. you are fine. Today you just need to get 2 more loyalty customers. Okay, how are you going to do that? Well, I got to get, a post out here in Facebook. I got to get a post out in Instagram. I just have to be consistent. And that's the thing is, to do this business and to do it well, consistency is key. I tell my team this all the time. I probably beat that over the head a little bit too much with my team, but consistency is key. You're only going to get results if you're consistent about what you do and if you have a purpose about what you do. And not being afraid to fail, not being afraid to have a post that doesn't work. I try new things every single time I do a post. None of my posts, I try not to make a whole lot of my posts the same, because I want to see what's going to grab people. What's the wording that's going to grab people, grab their attention. And I don't really like to put a number on how many posts I need to do a day. I just normally say if I don't have anything to do or you have some downtime, I should be posting. I should post about something, whether it's, hey, my dog is sitting on my bed looking cute. I'm going to take a picture of him and I'm going to put it on my Facebook, get people engaged, commenting on posts on my Facebook. It may not necessarily be about the business, but they're engaging on my Facebook. So if people are looking at my Facebook, then I can put a post about a product or an opportunity, and now they're going to see it and say, hey, that might be a good idea. So as far as November, it was easy for me to have that routine down because I didn't have my job that got in the way. I didn't have to, wake up and go to work. Now that it's December, it's a little tricky because I'm back at work. During the week, it's a little hard for me to do as much as I want to do because I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I go and I do my PT. For those of you who don't know, I am in the military, so I have to do crazy things early in the morning. And, I have these little tiny breaks where I get to come home for a little bit. But I use those times to the most of my ability to, post about the business or post about something throughout the day that I thought was funny. One thing I started doing last month was at the end of my day, posting a quote. Just post a quote, find a quote that I like and posting it on Instagram and Facebook. And saying something, personal, not necessarily personal about me, but, like a personal opinion about the quote, especially if I was having a bad day, I would try to find something uplifting. And I noticed that I was getting a lot of attention on things like that. So I started incorporating that or trying to at least every day. And with that brought more potential customers. So the people who were seeing that you have a whole different side of you, as far as you're a person, you're not just somebody who is out there selling products. You're a person. They want to talk to you because they can relate to a lot of the stuff that's on your Facebook or Instagram. But now, and as far as going for Emerald, am I nervous about it? Yes, 100%, and only for the fact that my job, my regular time, my full-time job does get in the way a little bit of the things that I want to do, just because I saw what being able to do the business 24/7 in November was able to do for me. Now that I'm back at work, it's hard finding the perfect places to work the business and when I can. Luckily, it's kind of the down season for us. We don't have a whole lot of trainings or anything going on. So I'm able to sit in my office and have my phone out and do all the posts that I need to. But also, just talking to people, reaching out to people on Messenger, and making sure that you're clued in on everything. I may not be able to attend all the trainings, but the Tuesday training is by far the most important one to me. And I say that because I've learned so much from these Tuesday trainings that you can't learn by doing a huge corporate training, because these Tuesday trainings are one-on-one trainings, with our upline, with all of us, to kind of just talk about what works, what doesn't work, what are we struggling with. So if you're not clued into these types of things, your business is not booming the way that it should be. Because, especially last week, there were so many tips that we got that were so beneficial that I had totally forgot about. And once I started implementing those, the amount of comments and potential loyalty customers I have just absolutely doubled, because I kind of hit a lull at the end of November, and I was a little worried going into December about how my business was going to go. But last Tuesday's training literally took that, and we did a 360, and now I'm back in control. And, I've gotten 2 distributors and 1 loyalty customer this week alone. So, it's a mindset that you have to put yourself in. And you have to create those goals. Don't just have those goals in your mind. Write them down on paper. I think I said that to somebody today. They wanted to go Ruby. Write it down. Put it somewhere where you're going to see every day. Put it on the fridge. Put it on your TV. Put it on your computer. Anywhere. Put it on all of those places. So when you see that, you are reminded every time you see that what you need to do in order to reach that goal. And that's super helpful, because all of November, that's all I thought about. And honestly, all I thought about was that $1,000 bonus and what I could do with that $1,000. So just find what motivates you and why you really do what you do. So
awesome.
Sorry, that was a really long rant.
I loved it. I loved it so much. So if anyone has questions, put them in the chat, because I'm paying attention to that. I am getting messages on my Messenger on my Facebook. So if we have time at the end, I'll ask questions. Let's have a picture really fast, you guys. So I'm not going to catch you by surprise, Tanya. Okay, so this is a picture up for everybody. If you want, you can take one too for yourself. But I'm going to take one with us all smiling. Celine, you look gorgeous. I almost thought, Celine, I thought yours was like a screensaver, one of your profile pictures, because it looked too perfect. Okay. Thank you, Katie. Thank you very much. Let's talk to Lauren. Lauren, are you ready? Yeah? Okay. I just unmuted you. Perfect. Okay, so Lauren, I'm really excited to visit with you. So tell us, where did you go? Where are you? Because you just switched.
Am I here?
I'm up there, you're over on the other side now. Okay, so Lauren, tell us, when did you join?
I joined in March, the very end of March. And Shelby actually reached out to me. Sorry, my cat is
Oh, please,
crazy.
you're fine.
Yeah, so Shelby reached out to me in December, and it was right when we had moved to Arizona. So at the time, I was just like, I'm really busy right now, and I had never thought about it before. So it kind of made me curious about what she did. And I always saw her posting and stuff, so I kind of knew what she was doing, but not really. So when she reached out, I was like, like maybe I would like to try that. And so after we moved in and my family visited for spring training, I reached out to her and I was like, hey, like, I think I want to do this. And I had her tell me a little bit more about it, and I just went for it. And so I always joke with my husband too, like, I wish that there was more people like me, because so many people are so skeptical, and I just kind of was just like, well, what do I have to lose? So yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So she found you on Facebook or Instagram, sorry. and she initiated that first conversation when she messaged you about joining her team.
Mm-hmm.
Had you guys been messaging back and forth a little bit, or did you just like some of her posts?
I don't think that we had ever really talked much. I think it was more of a cold message, but I definitely saw her stuff and I never really knew who she was, but I would always, be curious, and I was liking her photos, and I think there was some interaction like that, but I don't think we ever had a conversation.
So, and this is kind of the point that I want to make. So when she messaged you saying, join my team, it intrigued you, or were you like, oh my gosh, no way?
I mean, it was really intriguing.
Yeah.
I was just like, what? I had no idea that this was something that I could do, and that, I don't know, I just never knew about the opportunity, I guess. So that's something that, like, going forward, it's good to know, because I think even if you are gonna cold message somebody, like, maybe they need this opportunity in their life, or they just didn't know about it. So it's not like you're bugging them, really. It's just
right. And that's, you never know unless you ask. And if you joined that way, then there's other people that need this opportunity. And I think that it's in the way that we word it that can create that curiosity. And I know that Shelby has amazing wording and is sincere with what she says. And so that's why sometimes we get afraid of what to say and what to message or who to message out of fear of being told no.
Yeah.
But you are a prime example of, I mean, what did it hurt? You joined, and you're doing amazing. So, okay. So did you ever feel discouraged in the business?
Definitely. I've always known that I want to continue to, go far and challenge myself. And it is definitely hard with a full-time job on the side, but I try and put in like as much time as I can. I have really weird hours. So some days I'm working till 1 a.m, and some days I'm working, till 5 p.m, and then I can have time after that. But yeah.
So what do you do? What's your full-time job?
I work for a company called iSpot. I'm a data editor. So basically what I do is just track commercials and write descriptions for them and tag them metadata.
Okay.
It's different, but yeah, I get to actually do that from home though. So like that is the one thing that is kind of cool, because I can still reply to messages.
Right.
Not all day obviously, but I can still kind of keep an eye on my phone and do what I can.
Cool. Okay. So tell me, you had said when you promoted to Ruby, you're like, now I know what it takes. And so explain to me what that meant as far as how you were working before and what that means for working now and promoting.
Yeah. So I definitely procrastinated last month, and I had kind of given up on myself and just didn't even think I was going to promote at all. And then near the end of the month, we got kind of a big order just out of nowhere from somebody who was already a loyal customer. And I realized that I only needed a few more orders for executive. And then I had gotten a few more, like my sister finally joined, and everything was just kind of falling into place. And then Shelby reached out to me and she was like, hey, like, how much do you need? Like, you could totally still do this. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I needed 999 in volume. And I was just like, there's no way. Like, but at the same time, I was like, okay, let's do it. And so I just started working my butt off, and I actually ended up taking PTO for 2 days from my other job because I really wanted to focus on this. And I knew that I needed to be on my phone like 24/7 and just give it my best shot. And so I had some time saved up, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to do this. So everything just started falling into place. I mean, I started messaging everybody I've ever talked to. I had a list going of all of my Facebook potentials and then all of my Instagram potentials. And I went through the entire list, and I just followed up with them and asked if they wanted to place an order, and that I would love to help them get started. And other than that, just definitely making sure that I continue to post constantly, and host a post was definitely huge at the end. But just making sure I was constantly messaging was like the key thing for me.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, so I have a question. It was a question I think that came through for Katie. I'm going to ask you though. So for host to post, do you have a specific goal that you want to get a certain number of host to post people that are doing it per day, or how many messages do you send out regarding host to post?
On a day-to-day basis, I try and at least send out probably, I try to do probably 25 or so. Mm-hmm. But this I was just going, and every single hour I was sending out more messages and just making sure that I had host to post constantly going. But with those, I think a big thing that I do is when somebody says that like they can't afford it or something like that, I try and keep the host to post going. And so I'll say, hey, like if you want to share a post for me, like I can enter you in this contest. And I usually just do this for Facebook, but I'll also offer them, a free sample of coffee or energy if they get me any business. So that's something that helped me to kind of keep it alive.
Awesome. Okay. So don't take this the wrong way. So do you feel like you have something unique that others don't, and that's why you promoted? And so I think what I'm trying, most of us say no, and others might say, well, Lauren promoted, or Katie promoted, or Celine, it's because XYZ. And I want you to, what are your thoughts regarding that, regarding you promoting and others promoting and what their potential is?
I think just honestly, it's just finding it within yourself to like actually go for it and not doubt yourself, because like I was definitely doubting myself and just what I was capable of. And then once I started to actually just put in the work, like, and it's not even hard stuff. It's just, you have to actually make the time and do it. And so as long as you're doing that, like you're going to get customers and you're going to see results. It's just a matter of like, I don't know, there's some weird mind thing that like you kind of just have to overcome. Like sometimes for some reason, I just don't want to message people, or like, I don't know. There's just something that you kind of have to push through. And then once you're through it and you start messaging, like it just kind of goes from there.
Right. Yeah. And it is a mind thing. It's like, you said it right there. It's not hard, but it's this action of messaging someone, asking them, would you be willing to post a post for me? Most people are going to say sure or ignore it, and it's fine. It shouldn't hurt your feelings, and you should just move on. Shelby had said, all those no's get you closer to a yes. But it's funny how once we start doing it, our confidence rises, and then we can do more of it.
Yeah.
But it's that initial like fear of, I don't want to, that holds us back. But like you said, once you take that first step, it starts to get a little easier. Would you say that's true?
Yeah, and I definitely would also say that it's a numbers game for sure. I've heard a lot of people say that, but like the more people you talk to, like there's people who started placing orders that I've been talking to for just, 4 or 5 months that have been interested in different products, and they just, started seeing all my posts about the different things, and then they just finally were ready to take the leap. So
yeah. So what would you say is your one non-negotiable that you need to accomplish every day?
I would say definitely follow-ups and just messaging, making sure that if I tell somebody that I'm gonna, reach back to them about their order or check back with them to see if, they were ready to start, that I actually do that. So I guess one of the things that I changed and I've been a lot better about is actually keeping a schedule and like a planner. So I write down every single person and I put them on the specific date that they said they're, going to get paid, or that they wanted me to check back with them. And that has helped a whole lot. So.
Yeah. The calendar is life, Shelby. But yeah, being very specific and scheduling it in so that you don't forget about it, because, oh my gosh, it's so easy to forget, especially when you're working in such large numbers. And the people can fall through the cracks. Okay. So your goal for December is Emerald?
Yes.
And what are you going to do? It's the 4th of the month. So what does it look like for you? How are you going to get there?
I'm definitely focusing on distributors right now. So host to post, I'm focusing on distributors also. And just being more consistent, because I definitely procrastinated and it was not the best. Like it was fun and it was really exciting, but it was not the best feeling being like kind of a little bit scared. Like, what if I don't hit it? So I just want to be able to actually like make progress each week and put in the effort every day.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you have, so if you procrastinated in November and promoted, you have the entire month. And I think you are on the right track and we're cheering you on.
Thank you.
Thank you for visiting. Okay, we are ready for Celine. Do you want to unmute yourself, Celine?
There we go.
Hey.
Hi.
Okay, so how long have you been on the team with It Works?
Oh my gosh, don't hate me because I don't even know. Let me think. Sorry, I have not been feeling good today, so my brain is a little mush. And I was gonna write down everything and all the things. Oh, thanks, Brianna. July.
Awesome. Okay, so July, do you remember how you joined? Like, did she reach out to you? Were you following her? Like, what happened?
So I want to say a good 30 friends on my Facebook that, have been It Works distributors for quite a few years, probably like 3 or 4 years. And each one, I kept watching them just drop off the business. Every single one. But I always saw Brianna like always posting, always super excited. And I was like, okay. And I always messaged her about product. I was one of those. I was like, oh, this is so cool. I'm never going to buy it, but this is so cool. And then there was that. I really honestly don't remember how we started talking. I think I just messaged her about a product one time. And then I saw her post when we had that $50 deal to join the team. And I was like, it's only $50. And she was like, yeah, to start your own business, that's pretty awesome. And I was like, okay. And like my biggest thing was like talking to my boyfriend about it, because he's like, this is a scam and this is a scam and all the things are scams. And I was like, okay. And he was like, how do you even know this girl? Like, he's one of those people. He's like, I don't like you talking to weird people that you don't know, kind of. And so I was like, she's one of my friends. I've known her forever. She lives in Coeur d'Alene, even though we never met. It was terrible. And so I told him, I was like, she said she'd video call us and talk to us about, everything. And so we did. We had a little video call, and she just told us everything and answered all of our questions. And I think one of the things for Corey was like, she didn't skip a beat. Like, if we asked her a question, she was like straightforward with us and all that. And so Corey was like, that's what you want to do, then you go ahead and do it. Because we got to the point, because I was living in this little town in Kansas, and I was like, I had my son, and for any of you that don't know, he's blind. And I was like, I don't want to go to work, like I need to spend this time with my kid, and it's important to me, and he was like, okay, well, I don't know really what to tell you about that, because we need the money. And so so we ended up moving here in December, because my dad had passed and my mom really needed me here. So I moved here first, and I was searching for a job, and I started working for an oil company that I had previously worked for as a dispatcher. And a lot of drama happened, and I got fired. It was really frustrating, and it was on the spot too. And it wasn't even something that I did. So it was really frustrating, and that was my income. And I was able to work from home with that business. So I was like in tears, and I didn't know what to do. And then that post came up about the $50 business kit, and I asked him, and that's how I started.
That's crazy. And so now, so when you joined and he was skeptical, you hadn't bought any of the products. You just were very supportive of Brianna.
I was. Well, and my sister had tried the hair, skin, and nails. And she had let me try a few of it. Like, I think she let me try like a week and a half worth of it. And I already felt like my skin, like, super soft, and I loved it. And she, like, swears by it. She lost like half of her hair when she was pregnant, and it's all like thick and beautiful now. So I knew that the products worked, and I had seen that they worked. I was just like, I'm not spending that much on vitamins.
Right.
I'm one of those.
So what was your goal? What did you think that your goal was when you first joined? Like, what did you think that you would get out of it?
I told Brianna, I was like, anything. Because she asked me, she's like, how much do you want to make a month? And I was like, literally $10, please. So that was my first goal. I really honestly didn't think I'd reach Ruby as fast as I did.
Yeah. And I don't know, was it you that I was telling that there's a very small percentage of people that reach Ruby? I'll have to look it up again. It's on the income chart, on the income disclosure chart. If any of you, if Shelby or Brianna, if you guys know what that percentage is, like 10%. Yeah. Because I think that presidential and ambassador is like 1%. So like 10% of distributors make it to Ruby. So you did what 90% of other people haven't been able to do, because either they don't know what it takes, or they give up too soon, or a lot of it is lack of belief in themselves. Mm-hmm. So when you promoted, tell me how that felt. Talk to me about, what was his name? Corey. What was his opinion? Tell me about that when you promoted.
So, oh my gosh, promoting to Ruby was so crazy. I think Brianna and I stayed up till like midnight that night. We were like going and going and going, and like I was like, I didn't even have caffeine that day, and my energy high was like, I was shaking. I was like, oh my gosh, we have like 2 minutes and we have to get these orders, and we kept refreshing and refreshing and refreshing, and I swear, like, just thinking back to that, I was like, oh my gosh, I legit needed a chill pill. And then when she like messaged me, she was like, you made it, like tears. I'm full on tears. And Corey just looked at me. He was like, what are you crying about now? Because I'm always crying about everything. And I was like, I promoted to Ruby. And he was like, oh my gosh, we're getting sushi like right now. And we drove all the way to Spokane, which is like a 35-minute drive, just to go to the first open sushi place, and got me sushi and a bottle of wine. And I was super happy. It was pretty awesome.
That's awesome. I love that story. And so it's kind of an addictive month-end high that we get. Like, it's so exciting to get the rush in and to watch or not watch the system update. Am I right? You have to plan that the system is not going to update. And so please promote 2 days before month end. Oh my gosh. So no, I think, Katie, aren't you in Coeur d'Alene as well? Or where are you at? Are you in Idaho? Celine?
Yeah, I'm in Post Falls.
Okay.
So it's right next to the Spokane border. I live like literally 2 minutes from the Washington border.
Okay. Yeah. So what activity did you do that helped you promote?
Oh man. Well, through the whole month, I don't know what month I promoted. I think it was September, maybe. I'm so terrible. I don't even know these things. That month was so crazy. I do think it was September, because I think it was my birthday month, and everything was crazy, and I slacked the entire month. It was terrible. And then Brianna had posted on the Legendary page that I had what's the word? Something for Ruby. I was charted for Ruby. There we go. I can't think right now. I'm sorry. And so I was like, okay, what does that mean? Tell me all the things. And she was like, well, you got to do this and this and this. And I was like, yeah, right. And so I was like, okay, I really have to do this, because they had brought the $1,000 bonus on that time. And so I did so many hosted posts, so many. I reached out to people, and, you know, I felt bad because I kept seeing people post on Facebook like, I hate when people cold message me, blah, 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 all this stuff. And I was like, I heard something yesterday from from a different leader, and she was like, I don't call it cold messaging. She's like, if you're friends on Facebook, that's you reaching out to a friend. And if you don't think, you know, if you think that's cold messaging, then they shouldn't be your friend on Facebook, because it's like if someone walks into your store, you're going to talk to them, you know, adding them on Facebook, and they obviously from posts, you know, that they're, you know, you know that we sell It Works. It's all over our pages. So it's like, I don't find it cold messaging, and that really hit something. So now I don't feel as bad when I cold message people, but that's what I did. I saw that Zoom by Lauren, the girl with the pink hair.
Oh.
And she talked about doing the coffee host a post, and I jumped on that train. So I think it was mostly host a post that got me most of my customers there.
Awesome. Okay. So then what would you say, could you pinpoint what your day looked like, or was it just a lot throughout the day, or a couple power hours here and there? Like, what did that look like?
Well, so my mom owns an apple orchard, and it goes from like in the springtime, we're pruning. It's like, so I was literally like at the top of trees messaging people, like literally at the top of a tree messaging someone. And my mom's like, get off your phone, you're going to fall. And I was like, no, I'm about to sign this customer. It's happening. So it was like literally every second that I could be on my phone.
I'm dying. That's hilarious. Okay, so what would you say to someone who's like chopping wood?
Yeah, because we had to prune the trees. So, like, seriously, like, I'd send Brianna a picture and there's, like, bark in my hair. I was like, just sign another customer.
That's awesome. Okay, so what would you say to someone that's like, I'm trying, I'm posting, I'm messaging, and it's not working? What would you say?
I went through this phase of, like, 3 weeks. Not 3 weeks, maybe, like, 2 weeks, where I would post something and I wouldn't even get a like on it. Maybe sometimes one like, and that was Brianna because she's super awesome and she loves me. And so I was like, what the heck is happening? So I went through, I had at the time, I think I had like close to 2,000 friends. I started with A's and I went through and I just liked and liked and liked and liked every single person. I swear I spent an entire day doing it from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. I am not even kidding. And I only got to like J. And it was so hard. But after that, I saw more, like I'd post something and I would see more people. So I guess my algorithm got messed up, or, you know, so I think linking in with other people on your Facebook and make sure you're commenting, make sure you're interacting. And, you know, that's how I got more people to start liking and messaging me.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. So what would you say that your non-negotiable is every day?
It's a tough one. I have to post at least 2 product posts, like one on my story, one on my page.
Yeah.
Even, you know, like, and I think I need to get back into the habit of posting more personal posts, because I got in this habit where I was just posting a ton of product posts, and then I was like, well, shoot, I haven't posted a personal one, you know? So I think just consistency of, you know, the 3x3 rule.
Right.
Was really good at that time.
Yeah. Okay. What's your goal for December?
Emerald.
So we've got 3 ladies here going for Emerald. I know that we've got several others that are here watching and listening that are going for some promotions. So I want to see, everyone, what are your promotions that you're going for? So share. Jess, you better be saying Ruby. And then if we have a couple questions, we'll ask a couple questions, and we're going to do our drawing for Christmas presents. I have it camping out on my phone. We had 181 posts of our gift posts, and so I'm getting ready to do that. I know. So preliminaries should be what, Friday-ish? And I can't wait to see what all of you guys, what your preliminary paychecks are. And if you don't like, if you're like, dang it, I wish that that was higher, it's the 4th. You can do it. I'm sure that any one of these girls, if you want to like ask the question in our team page or message them privately and say, hey, you know, if you have specific questions, they would be happy to answer any questions for you. Yeah, Brianna, these promotions are going to be a blast this month. Julianne, executive. Yes, you can totally do it. Jess is going for Ruby. Can't stop, won't stop. Katie says message her anytime.
Same.
Yeah, Celine says same. I'm sure Lauren feels the same way. Did she leave? I think she left. Okay. All right, guys, so let's do our drawing. All right. So right here, I haven't done it yet. This was just already there from when I opened it. From one post to 181, I'm going to hit the generate button. I'm going to hit the generate button. Oh my gosh, where's my finger? Number 44, who is the winner? Who's going to find it first? Number 44, gift 44. Who is that? Who is the winner? Oops, now I'm out of it. Dang it. Is anyone else looking? I'm looking for the winner, number 44. I have to go through a few. Erin? Is Erin the winner? Is she on? Did she leave? It's Erin. You guys. Okay. I'm glad that you're all on. I feel bad. So we're just going to say we're drawing. And Erin's usually on, and you guys are always working hard. I would hate to draw your name and then not give it to you. So there's that. Okay, so I will message Erin. We're going to do, so I'm going to send out a Christmas gift. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. And you guys, how many of you, I've got my Christmas tree right here, and there's lots of cash on there, and I am waiting to send, whether it's Venmo, PayPal, or Facebook. So I want to send that Christmas cash to you guys. It's up to $50 on several of those. So Katie, you need one more. That's awesome. I know. Celine's 2 away. Awesome, awesome. Okay, you guys. Thank you very much for hopping on. You guys are amazing. This was fun. Thank you to Katie and Lauren and Celine for sharing. And you guys inspire me. You guys are amazing. So let's rock it out. Let's make this December awesome. And we'll talk to you guys soon.